Uh-oh, check engine lights on. Get your code reader, P0031. Generally a generic one for emissions, so for Subaru that's O2 sensor. So best thing, buy a new O2 sensor. Alright, I got car on ramps, gives a lot of room underneath. The front sensors on the Subaru, this is pretty easy to access, so you don't even really need anything but a 22mm open-ended wrench. But I usually use the little O2 sensor socket anyways. I've done O2 sensors on Hondas, Mazdas, and Subarus, and I've always used Bosch. Always worked great, no problems ever. I used to use the ones that were cheaper that you just splice in and reuse the existing connector. But I don't really use those anymore. And then I always use a little aerocroil to spray the existing sensor before I pull it out, because that's helps break the rust and all in there. So let's go under and take a look. Now before we go under, actually I'll disconnect from the top. So the 0031, that's for the right side sensor, so passenger side. So on the right side of the engine you'll see the connector here, so I'll disconnect that and then we can go underneath and pull out that bad sensor. Got it out, and you can see there's a little like cable mender that keeps it nice and secure, so gotta keep that in mind. I already broke the thread, so we'll just kind of hand undo this. And there it is. Don't know, guess it looks real dirty, but you'll see, you can see how that aerocroil penetrating oil, it creeps all the way down those threads. That's really good. Okay, let's get the new one. I always do the eyeball before they go back in, make sure everything's, needs to be like it is, but you can see there, it's a match, so. Alright, so what I'll do first is actually sort of feed this down from the top and then make the, connect the connector up. That's a bit easier than putting it in from below and then trying to fish the, the cable back up. So let's do that first. You live and you learn. So that's plugged in, and what I realized was if you undo the air filter, it gives you pretty much really nice access to take that on and put it back in. So tip number one, take off the air filter cover. Comes with this anti-seize grease, so I'm going to put that on the threads before putting it all in. Alright, got the new sensor in, and you can see it twisted with the cable a little bit because it was basically plugged in above. So what I'm going to do is go back above and just unclip it and then get those little kinks out. The twists, it probably doesn't even matter, but I don't know, I'll just do that. It'll only take a second, and then I'll reroute that wire back into the little holder, and I'll get the my wrench. Basically it's just hand tight now, but then basically I'll just get that a little tighter. I think the I'm not sure what the torque spec is, but I'll do it pretty good hand tight. Shouldn't matter. Never used a torque wrench on O2 sensors, so. You can see the lights off. That's a great sign. And the code reader comes back with 0 codes. Good deal. Save a lot of money doing it yourself.